In this video we're going to look at where animation lives inside XSI. Here is my sphere. I'm going to open up a Explorer, and inside my scene here we can see the sphere. The sphere has kinematic properties. The kinematics are scaling, rotation and translation properties, and these are separated into local and global. If I were to click on rotation here and set a keyframe and then set another keyframe, I've set it underneath the local transforms. This is reflected by down here kine local ori.euler. If I were to turn on animatable parameters as a filter inside the Explorer, we can now open up the local transform, and underneath Ori Euler here is my animation. We can get to this in many different ways. If I do Control K, it brings up the local transform properties, and here we can see the same reflection of the Explorer. I can also do my keyframing directly inside here. So the first type of animation, function curve or keyframed animation, will live underneath the object. Another type is expressions. If I were to open up the kinematics for my cube and to say set an expression, say on the position in Y, I will here set expression. I will just do the current frame. So now it'll take the value of whatever the current frame is. So this is an expression, but it is again driving a property underneath the object. To remove animation at any stage, I can right click on the divot and click on remove animation. I can also access the removal of animation, copying and pasting from this list here. So if I were to do some straight keyframing of my cube, there we go, I can now show you another way in which we access animation and where it will live. If I open up my Explorer again, you'll notice the cube is in fact underneath this little character here. This is known as a model. If we were to look under the kinematics for my sphere, we can see that the function curves live underneath the sphere, and also for the cube it lives underneath the position in this case. If I store the animated parameters or the function curves under this cube, I'll just call it up. The animation is removed and it actually creates a source clip here inside the mixer, and that lives underneath the model. The model can contain any number of objects or scene objects, lights, cameras, that sort of thing. Technically it's like a mini scene, therefore any animation which is stored will live underneath the model which it is in and not underneath the object. But you can still keyframe directly inside here as well as have the animation, because this is now just source animation. This source animation is then ready for the animation mixer. We can drag and drop it in there and off it goes. And you notice at each stage the icons change in the divots to reflect what is currently driving it. So we have function curves, expressions and source data. Inside the source data we can also have this referencing an external file. Currently it's internal, but as you can see here we have the options to make it external, and these are where your animations will live.